I don't feel alone. We just settled in and it already feels like home.
You're listening to the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty Ford.
Hey guys, this is Marty, and this week we sat down with Jeremiah Johnson and Brent Short from the Southern Ohio Forest Rally. Guys, this is an amazing event that happens right here in Southern Ohio by two guys that grew up in Chillicothe in Ross County and had a dream. Of course, there's a lot of other people involved, but these two guys really had a dream to bring forest rallying to our area because we have such great resources for it. We have 4 state parks that are gracious enough to let these guys race through their roads. And it's just become a premier event in the country, and it is bringing in some big names. And so we're super excited to sit down with them, hear their story about how this started and why it's important to the community from an economic standpoint, and it just putting Chillicothe and Ross County and Southern Ohio on the map when it comes to racing. So we hope you enjoy this conversation. Let's get into it.
Well, we are incredibly excited to have Jeremiah Johnson and Brent Short on today from the Southern Ohio Forest Rally, which, full disclosure, when you guys started doing this is 17, right?
Yep.
When you came back, 17, I thought, what? I didn't really know what it was, didn't even really think about it much. And then I think 19 was the first year that I attended and was blown away. And my kid was blown away. And then, of course, last year was last year, right? But now I'm like, man, why wasn't I there in 17? Because it was just such we just talked about this a minute ago, but driving cars that fast through the park and any park at any place really is kind of a big deal. And so we're psyched to have you guys here today. You've got the rally coming up next month, June 11th and 12th. Yep. So I'll let you guys introduce yourselves personally, and then we'll kind of jump into things here. So,
well, I'll go first. I'm Brent Short. I guess you can call me the assistant chairman, but basically I'm just like the media and sponsor guy for the rally. I do all the Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. In the off season, I reach out to get sponsorships and make t-shirts, things like that. I'm just kind of like the social media guy for the rally is what I say, because this guy to my right and Justin Pritchard, Jim Tribby, those guys are they go out and get things done with the community. So I won't take any credit for that.
I'm Jeremiah Johnson, chairman by title. I do a lot, but I'm not. Brent's saying just, but it takes it takes a lot to make this happen. I mean, there's a lot of things to make sure they get done, and if it wasn't for the crew that we have, we would not have the event at the level we do, and the community support's fantastic. I've been a lifelong Chillicothe resident, and this is something that we both agree on, that we want to give back to the community and paint a better picture of what Chillicothe really is, instead of some of the TV shows that came out there a few years ago. Won't mention any names,
were there TV shows? I don't know.
Mike doesn't recall that.
Yeah, we don't. I forgot about that. But we just, especially this year, we've gained a lot of traction. All of the big names in the rally community are here this year. We're one of the largest events in North America for stage rally. I think there's one other event that's at the level we are. And I don't mean that in any disrespect. I just mean it shows to the level that we put into it.
In the 5 years that we've done it, we've always been one of the top, which is really surprising to us, but something we're also proud of. So,
Why do you think Chillicothe is such a great place to host an event like this?
So I flat out tell you the biggest part is the community support. And we have a beautiful area, and we have a lot of things. It might seem funny talking about it in this setting, but most of the rallies are very out there. They're very remote. So they may have a McDonald's, something like that. They typically don't have hotels. Like they'll have like a, one that you normally wouldn't stay at, traveling.
Or like a summer lodge.
Yeah, summer lodge kind of thing. And you know, we're blessed to have a very large small city, right? We joke, and people they joke all the time, like, when are you going to leave that small town? I'm like, it's really big for me. It's a big small town, right?
Yeah.
And we have a lot going on here, and so when people come into town, they're like, wow. When we parked them in front of the Majestic, that the first or
17.
17.
I was 17. I remember
Yeah,
that.
we had so much feedback from that. They said, this looks like a little European town. This is like real rally. Like, they just loved it. And the community that came out to see the drivers during what we call the Park Expose, which is, you know, the kind of like the car show. The drivers are typically required to be there, not in 2021 this year. They said the drivers couldn't believe, you know, the support that we gathered from it. So and you know, we do have amazing roads. The Ohio Department of Forestry's without them, I mean, obviously we would not have a rally to put on, but we have really good roads around here. They're very technical, and people
and they maintain them, you know,
really well.
Other places, it seems to be an issue where the, you know, forestry department or the road department, you know, it's just a forest road and that's what you get. Here in Ohio, like they know we're coming. They're out there putting gravel down, straightening everything up. They take a lot of pride in it, so we're very thankful for that. And on top of what he said, one of the biggest things I hear from the competitors is everybody there is so nice. You know, they stop and get fuel, they stop and get food, and they're just like, they can't believe how nice everybody is here. So something really to be proud of.
Well, I think part of what you've done is you've brought something that is uncommon to this area. And I think, you know, there before this started, I bet there was a very small percentage of people that even really kind of knew what rally racing was, right? I mean, you guys knew because you were a driver, right? Were you a driver as well?
No.
So you were a driver, you knew it, but I don't know that a lot of people, I mean, my expertise when I was growing up was dirt track racing. I used to go to dirt track racing with all my buddies all the time. But like, I kind of knew road rallies were out there, but I didn't really go to any of them. So bringing something completely new to our community, you know, you can get that first year bump of it's a new thing. So everybody wants to come out and check it out, but you better lock in, and you locked them in, which is a pretty cool thing to watch.
Well, I think what's funny is even the first year, I struggled really hard to get any support at all because I was going and I was telling them, you know, hey, it's a stage rally. And they're like, a what? And I was like, you know, trying to come up with ways to explain it.
Was it going to be at the Majestic?
Yeah, right. They're like, what kind of rally?
There's other things when you say rally too.
Yeah, well, I actually they said like a Republican or Democrat rally. I was like, oh, no, none of that. Like, this is a car rally. And they're like, oh, explain it, you know. And I started digging into it, and I really struggled to get any traction at first. I made a few phone calls. I'll go ahead and say his name, Pat McAllister, and he remembered it from when it ran years ago, and he helped me out a little bit, and I started getting some phone calls back. So what happens is I explain it to you, and I say, yeah, there's going to be this car. It's going to cost $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. Go be here in Chillicothe, and there's going to be like, you know, 20 of them. There's going to be some middle cars, and there's going to be some grassroots guys, and then there's going to be all these like huge rigs where they set up and they have their whole teams. As an example, the Subaru team, the Vermont sports car guys, they have a truck and trailer dedicated for their team with a chef. He comes to Chillicothe in a truck and trailer, and he cooks all of their meals. Yeah, that is crazy. Trailer. Full blown. Yeah. So when you tell people this, they're like, yeah, right. That sounds cool. And then you come and you see it, and it kind of starts clicking. It's like how much money that just came into town, right? And we booked, I believe even last year, we booked all 4 of the hotels there behind Roosters, all of them booked. Plus
hotels in Portsmouth, the one in Piketon. And one year we even had people staying in Circleville. So, you know, I think that's what we always say we're most proud of. And that's true. You know, we want to bring people to our town, paint it in a positive light, like he said, but the economic impact that we're bringing to our town as well. Like that's very important to us. So it's not.
Have you been able to measure that and say?
In 19 we did.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously last year couldn't really do much. I don't have the numbers with us.
I was going to say that
it was pretty
the
impressive.
impact on 20 was on you guys.
Yeah. So we do track that with the hotels for sure.
Right.
We're working on some metrics I wanted to do this year. I think we're going to wait till next year, but to actually do another poll, the last poll we did was like 5 years ago at another rally that kind of gave some background. We track them with the hotels. And I'm not sure if you noticed or happened to see it, but we did get a grant from the Visitor Bureau, which is directly tied to the revenue that we bring in for them.
Yep.
Which is fantastic, and that money helps so much. And I think that most of the local stores and stuff realize it too. I'd like to track it more, but I do know that this year I'm expecting quite a the feedback we've gotten is people are ready to come back, and we are going to be the first event, I believe, in North America to allow spectating.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is just crazy. We were the first event. I don't want to say like post-COVID because I don't think we're post-COVID, but in 2020, after the shutdown, we were the first event. I actually did a couple interviews from other countries asking how we did it.
Right.
And that was huge. That was crazy. I mean, and I just keep going back to thinking like, yes, it's a lot of work, but man, we're doing this all out of our little Chillicothe hometown. Like, this is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our side gig. We all have regular jobs and
our side families don't make money on.
Yeah, we don't get paid for this. It's just out of pride, but we've done a lot of cool things, that's for sure. And it's nice to see that people are starting to take notice. Like you said, rallies are in America, people don't know a lot of it.
Yeah.
You go overseas, it's like the number one sport. That and F1.
Yeah, it's funny because I was talking to somebody about this from out of town, and they have a big speedway there. And they're like, really what they do is kind of like what we do at the speedway. We have one big race a year, but it's a big deal, and people learn to celebrate it like Louisville celebrates the Kentucky Derby or Daytona celebrates the 500. Like that's your thing. And, it really has become that way. I think that, folks, when you run a dirt track like Atomic or whatever, you have weekly events, things like that. You have big events every year, but one a year, you better be really good at planning it. You better be really good at executing it. And the community better be really good at supporting it. And it seems like you guys have pulled all three of those things together.
Well,
it may not feel that way all the time.
I would say sometimes we sit, we'll have a meeting and we're like, what are we doing this for again? It's like, oh, okay, that's why, because you can't make everybody happy. And I'm sure there's, we just try to, keep going. You always get some negative feedback. Most of it we've gotten was useful. It wasn't just mean, it was useful information. Some things that we made changes. Speaking of changes, 2020 taught us how to do things more efficiently and cleaner and quicker. With our check-in process, normally we rent the plaza, back behind Roosters in there. And for me, like, that's the time I get to see all my rally buddies, that I don't get to see through the rest of the year except for rallies.
We're busy the entire weekend, so It's like you see them at the beginning and at the end. That's
pretty much it. And we don't do that now. We have a drive-through process. We have you just drive through, get your stuff, and go on. And people loved it. They're like, this is so much better than having to wait in line, standing there for 20 minutes, an hour, So we learned a lot over the last 4 years. And like I said,
give yourself some credit. He took a lot of things that were old school. We got to do this on paper. It's the only way we do it, just the way we've always done it. And Jeremiah took time last year to make this happen to where it's all electronic. You do this before you get to the rally. So all you do is show up, you sign a piece of paper, one piece of paper that you're contaminating, possibly. So he did a lot of things like that. And in turn, the rest of the rallies and the entire organization were like, oh, that's a great idea. That worked well. And took, what he did. So
thanks. That was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I know it was.
So
You guys are having a moment. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he never takes credit for things. So.
Yeah.
where did the love for rally come from?
our parents.
I'll
our
say,
family.
I'll give you that one. So, for me personally, we used to go down to Tar Hollow, Soda Trails when they would run back when it was the Sunrise, or when I was a little, 4, 5, 6 years old, and they'd run through the night. And I can remember the old Audi 5-cylinder turbos.
Yeah.
They'd be coming, you'd hear it, and then you'd see like a glimpse of lights, and they'd go by, just the noise and the glowing rotors and stuff. Oh, it just, ever since then, and then the rally back then, 96, I believe, was the last year they ran. Yeah. And, we kind of thought it was dead because the internet wasn't what it was today in 96, 97.
Right. Sure.
I actually think I got dial-up internet in 98. But
Probably,
anyhow,
yeah.
A couple, I don't know, maybe early 2000s, found it online that rally was still a thing. And we went to a rally over in Pennsylvania, met Travis Pastrana, some of the big action sports stars, Ken Block. And, I immediately came home and I called Brent and I was like, dude, can we do this? He's like, of course this was like 2008, and we were younger and we were like, yeah, why not? Like, we can put on a rally
next year.
Yeah,
let's go.
We tried.
Doing this consisted of me sitting on my computer and trying to make a logo. That was about it.
So we started meeting. We filled out all the paperwork. We got shut down 4 years in a row. And I don't want to say we gave up, but we just kind of like focused on other things for a while. And
you were starting a family, and
that too. Yeah, that takes up time. And then 2016, in the fall of 2016, got a phone call, said, hey, you guys think you can do a rally? I was like, yeah. I don't know.
A few months before where they wanted us to do the rally.
Yeah. So October 2016 to, May of 2017, we pulled it off. It was insane. It was very quick.
Did you find that, because you had driven, right?
Yeah.
So did you feel like because you had the background driving, you knew what you either liked or didn't like about the rallies that you drove in, and so that went into a lot of your planning? Or was it sort of like, no, I kind of always had my idea that I was going to do it this way? And
for me, what I found was when you go to most rallies, you're not treated as a customer, right? So most of our money comes from the entry fees. The entry fees for the rally are pretty high. Our regional entry is $750, and it goes up from there. And that's how we pay for pretty much everything. We do have some awesome sponsors. Wagner Subaru stepped up, been our title sponsor, and without stuff like that, we couldn't do it. And what we discussed was, and I think it's because, I don't know if it's because we're older, or I'm sorry, younger than the majority of them. We're older now, but it's really important to take care of your customer, right? And what we did was we catered to the drivers. It didn't matter if they were the guy in the $500,000 car that everybody was there to see, or the guy that had the, $4,000 Subaru that's 20 years old. We treated them all the same. We gave them all the same, quote, social media love. And that's the feedback that we ended up getting, because that's just that's how I felt I wanted to be treated. And, instead of just saying, you're welcome, here's your rally, it was, wow, these guys actually care that we're here. It's like, yeah, we do. Like, you guys, this is awesome for us. Like, we still enjoy watching, let alone. So, yes, I think, and we changed some things, I think, for a lot of different rallies.
Yeah, I think it was good for us because Jeremiah competed in a rally or two, and we knew about rally, but like we didn't go into it as a rally almost. Kind of like you, my background's dirt track racing. I was every weekend at Atomic, Marty knows. And then working with Jeremy at Chilitown, you just kind of take all of that. Jeremy did such big things, and it's like, okay, what worked there, what worked there? And that's basically how we started. It's like, well, this is what we did here, or this is what so-and-so does. As well as, the competitors telling us, well, like, this rally in Missouri does this. We really enjoy that. I think that kind of gave us almost like, made us different. Like when I go into social media for a rally, if I look, it's better now, but back then there wasn't much promotion. It's basically like, hey, we're having a rally and that's it. And I just kind of went into it as like, I just got to keep this in front of people so they know what's going to happen.
Well, we did an event, not a rally. Like, it was an event. We had we've brought in talent from Nashville. We've had food vendors show up. We had a DJ Marty DJ'd for us. Like, those aren't common things.
Man,
like,
I wish I would have known that. I would
Yeah.
for sure.
he was mixing records left and right.
Not that kind of DJ.
We had we just tried to make it an event, like to make it more of a show,
Yeah.
the whole thing, than just show up and race and leave. You know.
Yeah, make it an experience.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
people.
Thank you.
Let's give back to the people that support us, and
Yeah.
the people that travel all that way. It's not just like, hey, good run, see you later. You know.
Yeah.
And we do a lot with when we try to, usually with the after party, and things like that. Try to make sure that's fun for everybody. But
So, well, and if you look at it in terms of any good event creates an experience, like that to me, that's the most compelling thing. You don't go to Tecumseh just to see the same play 20 times.
Right.
It's an experience. You go to a Paints game because your kids can have a blast there. And you guys have kind of created the same thing. Do you feel like you've made people into rally fans that weren't rally fans before?
absolutely,
Yeah, there's about 6 local guys in Ross County that are building or have built cars since we started.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know that they would have done that.
Yeah.
And there's people that I never would have thought would be getting into rally, and they come the first year,
Yeah.
and now every year they're just like, well, I can't wait. Let me know when this is going on and that, and
Yeah,
it's fun to see. It's even take Abby for example. Like she doesn't watch racing, and then last year she was just like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So
It really is. When you get there, like, you kind of think you have an idea, and then like the noise, but then the energy around it is just such a. I mean, it kind of overwhelms you. Your first time, you're just like, oh, there's just so much going on here, And it sometimes it goes in spurts. Sometimes it's a little more sustained, but there's a lot about it that just draws you in, And I think that's the fun part about creating the experience is once you get people there and they kind of feel that energy, there's really no way. If you're an adrenaline person, you've got to come back.
yeah.
Well, there's a big jump this year, so the adrenaline will be going.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
The level of cars is, in the past couple of years, it's really increased, and it's even for us.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for a few years. We went to rallies, and when they pull up on the line, you're just like a little kid. It's really, really cool to have.
I remember getting a text from both of you when you guys found out that like Ken Block and Travis Pastrana were coming. It was like 2 different texts. I'm like, what? I was excited because those are names that more people have a chance of knowing.
Yep.
A lot of people know who Travis Pastrana is.
Right.
And if you're on YouTube, you know who Ken Block is, right? So especially if you're an audio aficionado, right? So that was exciting to know that those guys were coming, and then how sad it was in your social media post when Pastrana's car is melting, burning down to the ground last year. Like, but man, creating an experience where people have a great time, they get to see a great product, and that's. I mean, I've been involved in them, just helping you guys out with sound, and I see a great product. Like the first year, you guys had the announcer guy he and I kind of connected, and have stayed in contact, which is so funny. But he was so impressed with it being a first year event and how well organized it was, and how you guys really tried to create just a really great experience for everybody, your drivers and those few people that first year that came out. I just remember being in MacArthur. And then all of a sudden, like the cars started showing up, and there were a few people, and then all of a sudden it was time for the cars to leave, and there were a lot of people wandering around the street there in MacArthur, and it was just exciting to see that the community was like, what's going on? Then they experienced that, and then the next year when you showed up, like before the cars were even there, you had people showing up waiting for the cars to come.
The mayor of MacArthur actually reached out to me after the event. And they said, when can you guys do this again? Their gas station and their local mom and pop restaurants, that was a record day. They'd never made that much money in a day. And again, nobody really knew what to expect. But since you brought up Ken Block, just to give you an idea, I mean, if anybody's not familiar with Ken Block, just YouTube him. But this guy's a very busy individual. This last year when he came and, we had to do no spectating, his team reached out to me and they said, "Hey, Ken wants to do something for your volunteers for putting this on, right? He really is appreciative." He said, "Stop over at our trailer when you get a minute." That guy, the night before the event, signed 50 Hot Wheels Ken Block cars and 100 posters for me to give out to volunteers. Wow. I mean, you know how long it takes to sign your name. Like, I've signed my name once for a fan one time in my life. Marty, on the other hand, has probably signed a few albums in his day. But
I've got a whole stack of them to do.
Every week,
See?
Mike's asking for one.
Yeah, I mean, I do it all the time. But, I mean, to think like that guy he needed to focus. I mean, winning to some of these guys, some of them it's just fun, right? They just go out for fun. Some of them are out there to win, right? There's points, championships, bragging rights, stuff like that, and sponsor commitments. Ken Block's heavily involved with sponsorship. And to think like, wow, you're that appreciative of the people here working the rally that that had to take a minute, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Like, but again, that's to show that the drivers, they give back. We have another team. He donated like $400 or $500 in Roosters gift cards last year. Said, "Hey, take your crew out. Go have thank you guys for doing this." And so we had an after party with our crew, and we had lots of Roosters.
That's awesome.
But
that's something I kind of wanted to touch on. I've been to NASCAR races. I've been to NHRA. You can't get past the fence, right? Like, rally is such a humble sport. You got guys like Pastrana, Ken and Alex, guys that are worldwide known, and you can walk right up to them like, "Hey, Travis, how's it going? Can I get a picture?" Absolutely. Get in here.
Yeah.
There's no security that, like, don't go out and harass them. But, and it's the same way from Travis and Ken to the local guys. Like, you want to jump in their car, sit for a minute? Go ahead. Put your kid in there. Like, everybody's so welcoming. And it's a humble community. I don't know what other way to put it. It's
The community is the right word, I think.
yeah.
and we
it's
do
probably
have
one of the
security,
things-
Chillicothe PD.
Yeah. It's probably one of the things that surprised me most about rally. You would think with all racing, there's a lot of guys with egos, but there's really none of that here.
Yeah.
Yep, for the most part, you got just a bunch of really good guys that appreciate the work that goes into putting a rally on, so they can go play rally driver. Really,
And they're all a little nuts because if you're going 120 miles an hour
Right.
between two trees, the width of your car.
So, are you familiar with Steve Arpin?
Yeah.
He was here last year.
Okay.
And I asked him, I said, "When we go get you in a rally car?" And he said, "Dude, no way." He said, "It will never happen." He goes, "I don't understand how people." I mean, you think about that. Go drive down the road in Soda Trail. The speed limit's 30.
Slowly.
It is a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. I guarantee you, and I'm not testing anybody, but 30 mile an hour around some of those corners,
Yeah.
you will. It is, and these guys, I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much fun to watch.
It really is.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm anxious a little when I watch it, but I think that's what I
yes.
like about it. That it's like it's so much different than anything that we've ever really experienced, and so going to dirt tracks, riding the cushion and things like that, it's such a different feel, it's such a different level. It's just been really cool to watch the growth of it. So what does 2021 look like for the rally, and what's different? Maybe other than the fact that you're going to have fans and
Spectators.
what are you anticipating this year that folks would really kind of latch on to?
We're kind of up in the air, really. I mean, I think I'm pretty confident people. I mean, I know they want to come. I've never been reached out to. I think that's the right way to say that.
Nailed it.
I've never had that much interest in spectating. Normally people just show up, and I think we estimated. I think you helped me 2,500. I think, Marty, is that something what we had in 2019 at the flood wall? Something roughly. And then we have stuff out in the forest as well, so they could kind of pick where they wanted to go. This year, we're doing a little bit more in the city park. We've been very, blessed with some permissions on that, and I think that's going to be I know that's where I'm going to be. I can tell you
It's
that.
going to be a showcase.
And we are doing
Yes.
a park expose this year. It is not mandatory because not getting into COVID feelings. If you want to come, we appreciate it. If you don't, we understand.
Yep.
Same. We want to try to get back to some set of normalcy as safe as possible. And with the governor's, lifting some of the mandates, we're gonna be in there. And if people feel comfortable wearing masks, wear your mask. It's completely fine.
Yep.
And I think that's going to be big for us to get back to that, because the other rallies, they couldn't do it. Some of the states that they're in, Michigan had to cancel both their events last year because they're just a little bit more strict than Ohio. They were in danger. They actually were about 3 weeks away from canceling their event this year because of permissions and getting blessings and stuff signed. So I think just having it back and trying to open up and allowing people to come watch again. I mean, there was I could not believe how awesome the community was last year with us saying, "Hey guys, if you want to watch the rally, you have to volunteer, because we have to have you in some kind of waiver."
Right.
And man, we had 200 some volunteers just right off the bat, and no
awesome
other
thing
issues.
is a lot of them are coming back this year. This is the most volunteers we've ever had.
Awesome.
We appreciate, you can't do it without volunteers. So.
Yep.
But as far as this year, I mean, I think one big thing that makes us different also is we never want to put the same product out every year. I'll give a lot of props to Justin on that. Like we do a lot of great things. It's shown in the past few years, and we come back every year and Justin's like, "Oh, here's the stage this year." I'm like, "Well, last year was good." Okay, this is a much better. He just is constantly tweaking as far as how the stages go. I mean, we all are. I guess stage we all are, but he does a lot of the work.
We also have 4 forests that we can bounce between that most rallies do not have that. They just don't have the, it's too far away. And we have Zaleski, Tar Hollow, Soda Trails, and Shawnee Forest all within, an hour or less. I mean, that's people. I think we forget how awesome we have it, here in our little community, the parks that we have, I mean, we have literally one of the best mountain bike trails in the state of Ohio, literally 5 minutes outside of town.
Yep.
Right.
You can be there in 5 minutes. And I'll go there on the weekend, and there's people from Kentucky, Northern Ohio. They're like, "No, we come down every weekend. This Chillicothe's awesome." And I'm like, "That is fantastic." And then so when we bring people out, this last year, we have a couple rally drivers coming in a week early to mountain bike. Just little things like that. I mean, it's just crazy how people forget, I think, or maybe they just, get used to the day to day, but my goodness, we just have so much going on here.
Yeah. I mean, I call Ross County, Ohio's unknown playground,
Yeah.
Right.
cause I mean, it really is. When you consider the Buzzard's Roost, you consider, the other trails and parks that we have, and you look at
Mountain City.
what you're able to do. I mean, if you could spend a week here doing stuff and say, "I need to come back again because there's 5 other things I didn't get to do."
And off rally topic, but Buzzard's Roost, oh my gosh, you go there and you don't even realize where you're at. It looks like you're somewhere in the mountains.
Yep.
It is completely crazy.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think,
It's 10 minutes
Yeah.
from where we're sitting.
exactly. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I think we do. We take it all for granted just because we've lived here our whole lives. You know, so
Yeah, my kids, they live in Colorado, and it's beautiful there. And Maddie, this last time she came home, she's like, "Dad, I just forget just how green it is here and how beautiful it is." And it's kind of great to hear. People recognizing it.
Yep.
She moved away and then now comes back and recognizes just how good she had it as a kid and all the things that she had to do.
And I for me, like, I don't know if it's a generation thing, but it seems to be some of I'm going to take credit and say my generation are really putting the time and effort into downtown Chillicothe. And what I think maybe, Mike, you mentioned it, was it 15 years ago maybe, where downtown was not, you didn't really even want to walk downtown.
Yeah.
I work at home for my day job. I come in town 3 times a week, and I would just walk. I grab a drink, or I'll stop in at Roast or First Capital and get a drink or something, and I just walk around downtown just because I'm like, man, this is really like, it's just so different than and how awesome it is.
And I think the greatness of it is people just really just saying, I've had this dream, or I had this thing that I wanted to do for a long time. We've created a space now for you to experiment with the dream, or to basically say, it's not an experiment for me at all. It is me going all in. I mean, we've talked on here before, but Ben Daughters at Poorhouse, if it were me and you told me the guts of the building are horrible, it's gotta, well, there goes that dream.
Yep.
But he stayed with that. And I think that takes a lot of guts and a lot of determination. It takes a lot of guts and a lot of determination to put a forest rally on when, in 6 months' time, as you said, not even that, I think, and then try to make a sustaining event out of it, and then have, oh, by the way, a national or a global pandemic in the middle of, when you're just trying to catch some momentum, right?
And I was thinking about that. I think last night I was out in the garage working on something. It's like every year we've had a great event, and the following year we've been faced with something.
Yeah.
Like Rally, when we were with Rally America, we had a great event, and it's like, we're gonna put you. Did they put us on the national?
Yeah,
they didn't want to, maybe. There's like a challenge there, and then that all happened, and we went to ARA, and they're like, sorry, schedule's full. You can be a super regional. It's like, we've got one of the biggest rallies in the United States.
We were the biggest rally that year,
why
as
are
not
we-
even a national event.
Why are we a super regional? Well, the schedule's already out. It's like, okay, well. And then we go into like last year, and it's like COVID. So it's just, this year it's like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And it's been different. I think it's because of last year, where last year was kind of chill, and it was, you didn't know what was going to happen this year. So we both have just been like, what are we forgetting? What's going to happen? Because you're just not. But for us to keep succeeding with that, our awesome group of people and our awesome town, we got to give it to everybody.
We had.
I hope it's going to be a huge deal this year. We'd like to see everybody out.
We had a handful of other organizers say, like, why didn't you just like throw in the towel? Like, it'd be so much easier. Like, nah, we're good.
We don't quit.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I think, just to brag on you a bit, I think, you talked about it earlier. I think you weren't afraid to take the criticism early and then try to sift through it and find the nuggets that are there to work on. So I think, one, that's you showing the community, we're not just taking from you. We're willing to give. We're willing to do the things that we've got to do. I think when you get in the middle of COVID and you say to everybody, well, if you want to be a part of it, or if you want to see it, you got to be a part of it. I think that's at least adjusting and adapting to it. And then, all the machinations of going from Rally America to ARA and all that other business, like, that's not easy. That would be like doing a NASCAR event one year and doing Formula One the next year to me. I mean, it's still Rally, but at the same time, it's completely different organizations and the way they're run. It's easy at that point to just say, maybe it was a good dream for a little while, but now we're done. But I love the perseverance about the story. I love the fact that you guys are willing to acknowledge the volunteers and the sponsors, because no good event happens without those folks. And I think you guys have been super blessed with that.
And we probably have a lot more gray hair after starting this, but the work that we do is nothing without all those people. Like he said, without Wagner Subaru, without Printex came on last year and just knocked it out of the park. All these local businesses and everybody that supports us and our volunteers, like what we do is for nothing, without the other people.
Yeah, I opened up the checking account with $100 of my own money. It was actually, I took $100 and said I need to open a checking account. And that's literally what we started the rally on. And I was like,
our first year,
guys,
it was like trying to get, I don't know what the saying is. Like, I was like, Jeremiah, let's do this. Nope. Like, Jeremiah, can I have some money? Nope. Jeremiah, no. It's like, and we're at a place now where it's like, all right, let's experiment with this. Let's see what we can do. And also we have a lot more sponsors, so they give us the ability to, do cool things. Get the big arch that we have, so it looks like a professional event, and do some better T-shirts and things like that.
Mike, you said that giving back. I mean, one of the things that we did was even though we did the first year we were just kind of like winging it, just like wherever we could get stickers or whatever. Every single thing that we do now is local. Our t-shirts are local. We use 2 different companies locally. We use Printex. Literally everything we do, we've partnered with a couple other people to help do stuff. And we, like I said, we really just wanted it to be about here, because not that the online store doesn't care, about what you send their way. But me giving somebody $700 in some state that, they don't care, they do, they're making money, but that $700 or $1,000 bill that we spent on getting something printed, I'm quite certain that the guys at Printex, are very, it's helping the local people that work there.
That's
And
true.
honestly, they do a better job.
Yeah.
The first couple of years, it was like, we need a T-shirt, and well, I came from Dirt Track, so it's like, well, I don't remember the company's name, Arizona Sports Shirts. Yeah. We get our shirts, like, that's pretty cool, but it kind of looks like a Dirt Track T-shirt. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you want me to do. So luckily, we have talented people in this area like Jared Depew, who is just like a magician with anything I want to give him. I'm like, hey, here's my idea. Our new logo with the Ohio flag. Yeah. He had that in like 2 minutes. But I just tell him, like, I want a T-shirt that's not really like, a T-shirt kind of like artistic, and it's just done, and anything we need, Jared's been great. So shout out to him, as well as JB and the guys at Printex. Like,
well, that's the true meaning of a community event, right? You are, it's in our community, but you're supporting our community in lots of different ways. So why don't you give us the details of your weekend coming up?
That, huh?
Yeah.
So the cars will start showing up on Tuesday. Wednesday we have a private test day that, disclosed to just the individuals testing, and we're up to like 25 cars, which is crazy. Thursday they do open recce, where they go run the roads just to kind of adjust the notes. Last year we started doing open recce to where people can come in, they write their own notes, which basically means they can say the level and degrees of the road. So they'll say like right 3, left 2, 100, jump, things like that. They write all their own notes now. This year we're offering printed notes as well, but they will do that Thursday and Friday morning. And then the event really kicks off in the city park, like we did the first year, 2019. We're going to be right across from the skate park is where we're kicking off. You'll see the big arch there. They will go through stage number 1 is City Park stage, and then they will go from there out to Soda Trails for 2 stages. And Saturday we will be down in Shawnee Forest all day, literally all day.
Shawnee just provides a lot of really long stages, like a lot of opportunity. They even opened up a couple more roads for us this year, so that's really exciting. It's going to be a lot more speed, a lot more of a challenge for each team. The one thing about the park, and nobody go try it, but if anybody's ever went by the pump house through the turns there, just imagine an $800,000 car going through there as fast as you can. It's going to be pretty exciting. So
definitely. And
we'll do the park expose on Friday evening. I think it kicks off around like 5 or 6, where you can come down right there by the baseball field in the skate park and get to meet your favorite driver, get a picture. I know Subaru reached out to me, and they're bringing posters. So you can get a poster from Pastrana and Brandon Simonik, who's the other driver, who's a BMX X Games? Mountain bike, sorry. I always mess that up. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really cool guys and girls coming. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Well, you guys have done a great thing for this community. Again, you've brought something that other places have, but you brought it to our downtown, you brought it to our city, you brought it to our forests. I mean, it's just an amazing story, and mega proud of you guys.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
Just really excited for you guys. Sadly, I'll be on vacation, but I will not be there this year. But I definitely looking forward to.
We'll send pictures.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to live stream the entire event again on Friday. So
nice.
You can see that.
Yeah. So thanks for coming in.
Yeah, man.
And,
thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us on.
You know,
We're really proud of you guys.
I've known both of you most of your lives.
Yeah, right.
And it's just, it like Mike said, we're proud of you. I am proud of you. I get excited every time we start talking about the event, and it's just big things to come. It's going to get bigger and bigger every year.
Well, I mean, not just saying this because you guys, honored us to be on here, but really, like, we really appreciate what you guys are doing with the podcast. Our community needs it. It's, I've heard so much positive stuff from it. So you guys just keep doing what you're doing.
That means a lot. Thanks.
Well, and I mean, we wanted to bring people on that are doing great things in our community. You guys are doing great things in our community. We hope that, 20 years from now, maybe you guys aren't. Well, you're young. I know you guys got. They keep talking.
40 this year.
They keep talking. Well, okay,
Right.
You might be able to get out, but Brent's a young guy, so.
We're the same age. You see this great?
But hopefully, maybe we're passing it on to somebody else by then, right? But you're still involved. You're still around. I mean,
I don't know if we could do that.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't think you could.
But whatever it is, man, I just want Southern Ohio Forest Rally to just keep going and going, because to me, it just feels like a great event for our community and brings a lot of people here to know what we do here, and that's always good.
So speaking of a lot, I got to throw this in there. In 2019, with what we did track from people, we had 36 states, 67 cities, and 7 countries represented in Chillicothe during the event. That, to me, at one time, that's crazy.
It's a lot of culture.
Yeah.
I mean,
really
people literally had some of their cars shipped in from overseas.
Yeah.
Not to mention the amount of money that.
And I'd say we talked about Travis and Ken a lot, but Barry McKenna, he has like a fleet of 9 cars that basically come from overseas that he fields for just about every event, which is amazing too. So make sure you check those out.
Yep.
Also, just real quick, another fantastic thing about the rally is, like you said, the culture. We have friends all over the country, and like pretty much half the world now. At least they're from Portugal, Ireland. It's really cool. It's really cool to have here at home. So.
Guys, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You've been listening to the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty Ford.
We don't deserve it. It feels a little strange, but I don't feel alone. We just settled in and it already feels like home. Feels like home. Feels like